Hello world, how you beautiful people doing? Another beautiful day. Good morning, Saya. Good morning, Saya. Sasu. Checking in with the morning report. Fire away. It's the world's handsomest man. I'm just joking. I'm joking. Looks is overrated, man. Anyway, look, man. I used to think that there was a thing called job security, but then I got to find out that job security is a myth. So there's only so much time you can put into a job before you finally give it up. Especially if the job pays good. Everything has an expiration date on it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I remember when Kojima was over at Konami. He was dropping hitters. And he was with PlayStation for a good minute. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. I think PlayStation 4. So Kojima was with Sony for a while, but while he was there, he was working on his making his own studio called Kojima Productions. So he can get from under Konami. So like I said, every job has an expiration date, so you have to put as much time in it as you want to. And that's what Kojima did, because he wanted to do something new. He didn't want to be like a mouse on a Ferris wheel going around and around doing the same thing and not getting anywhere. So it was time to do something new. And like take today right now, we in the pandemic, right? Like when the pandemic started, I'm like, how many people right now plan to go back to the jobs that they once worked? How many of you? So and if not, and if not, it's time to do something new. So you always got to prepare. You always got to be prepared for for changes. So when it came to Kojima, he was working on his production studio while he was still at Konami. You know what I'm saying? So he was doing his groundwork. So and then in his mind he set a time and a date when to leave, and then he left. So now he got his own production studios, and he's doing okay. So and then he made Death Stranded, but he got some more games up his sleeve. And since he left Konami, Metal Gear hasn't been the same. Once he left, everything went downhill. So you ever heard that saying, you never appreciate someone until they're gone? That's what's going on with Konami, because right after he left, Konami they made Metal Gear Rising, but the game, it lost that Metal Gear appeal in that Kojima direction where Metal Gear should go. Because let's face it, every Metal Gear that Kojima made, they were good. Whether it's Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear 2, Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear 3, Snake Eater, Metal Gear 4, Guns of Patriot, right? And then Metal Gear 5. All of them, all the Metal Gear games, they were good. They had their own, and then you had the ones that were on the like Subsistence. Like you had Substance, but you had Subsistence. Then you had a couple others that were like on the PlayStation, PSP, and the Vita. So each one of those Metal Gears, they were different, but they were good. And you could see Kojima's direction and vision under Metal Gear, and he made Metal Gear what it is. So once he left, the value of Metal Gear just dropped, it just dropped. And like the saying goes, you never appreciate someone until they're gone. So Metal Gear hasn't been the same since Kojima left. And there were rumors of they were trying to remake Metal Gear 1 from the ground up. But I was, in my mind, I'm like, what can you add to the game that was never there? That can really benefit the story. What can you add? You know what I'm saying? And then they made a Twin Snakes. They made a Twin Snakes, and then they made a Twin Snakes. But after that, there was nothing else to add to Metal Gear 1. So after that, to me, there was nothing to add to Metal Gear, the first Metal Gear. After that, that was it. But Konami was trying to rebuild Metal Gear from the groundwork. I mean, rebuild Metal Gear 1 from the ground up. You know, but Kojima did a real good job with a superb job with the first game. So it's going to be real hard to top that first game. But anyway, um, ever since he left, man, Konami has been the same. But now Kojima has his own production studios, and he's he made some game. He made a game for PlayStation called Death Stranding. But now look like Kojima gonna be making games for Xbox. Listen to this. It said heads up Xbox Phil Spencer could be teasing a Kojima collaboration. So what? Death Stranding on Xbox? Says here an industry insider stated that Phil Spencer Kojima production tease is probably significant. Following a widespread speculation online, fans are speculating what is the next Hideo Kojima and his game development studio Kojima production. Following the release of Death Stranding, though the game initially got very mixed reviews, Death Stranding was a big success on PC, receiving markedly better reviews from across the industry as well as PC players. And then it says here, recently fans got in quite the stir after they spotted a Luden figure on a bookshelf behind Phil Spencer, the heads of gaming over at Xbox. Now, industry insider and reporters at Venture Beats, Jeff Grubb, say that this tease is probably significant, meaning that fans may see some collaboration between Xbox and Kojima production in the future. Despite Death Stranding initially PlayStation exclusivity, many readers out there naturally associated Kojima with PlayStation, considering Death Stranding was a PS4 exclusive title for quite some time, but it came to PC later on. Additionally, Kojima is Japanese game developer, so it makes sense that he would feel more at home in the PlayStation ecosystem. However, fans began to question whether or not Kojima would maintain his alignment with Sony following a potential tease from Phil Spencer. Now, VentureBeat's Jeff Grubb has discussed the tease, calling it significant, along with the other video game related material on Spencer's shelf. Okay, so basically, Phil, they say what they say real G's move in silence or ninjas move in silence. Anyway, I guess Phil Spencer was doing a video like a Zoom interview or something like that, whatever. And then he had one of Kojima's action figure in the back. So now people think just because Kojima started with PlayStation, he should continue to stay there. Nah, that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Just because you start off with a company, that don't mean you have to be there forever. You can do what you want. So for the PlayStation fans to be thinking that, that's a big mistake. So Phil Spencer put one of Kojima's action figures in the back just to give people a hint that if he's probably in collaborations with Kojima to bring some games to Xbox. So Death Stranding is a PS4 exclusivity, and Kojima is a Japanese game developer. But just because you're a Japanese game developer, it doesn't mean that you can't make games for an American console manufacturer. It doesn't mean that you can't. So Kojima has that option of making games for Xbox if he wants to, because he's not under Konami anymore, and he's not under Sony's control anymore. He's on his own terms, and he can set the rules however he wants. So for those PlayStation fans who keep thinking that Kojima is going to stay loyal to PlayStation, That's a dumb that's a dumb mistake on their part. Kojima holds no allegiance to anyone. You know, so he can make games for Xbox if he wants to. You know what I'm saying? And the option is on the table. So now the question becomes, can he make a game for Xbox? Remains to be seen. So only time will tell, and time is honest. But anyway, I'm going to leave a link in the description box for this article. And nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Bored, dark side. I'm gone. Peace.